Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we uncover the mystery, history, and hidden fortune behind one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world, the 1982 1-cent USA coin, a piece that has reportedly reached an astonishing value of $341 million, making it one of the most legendary and mysterious pennies ever to exist. While its original face value is just a single cent, this particular coin has transcended its humble origins to become the subject of global fascination due to a combination of historical quirks, rare minting errors, and anomalies that continue to baffle collectors, experts, and historians alike. First, let's step back in time to understand what made 1982 such a critical year for the United States Mint, and why this specific year is loaded with complexities. The U.S. Mint decided to transition from the traditional bronze composition, which was primarily 95% copper and 5% zinc, to a copper-plated zinc composition, which drastically reduced the amount of copper used. This was due to the increasing cost of copper during the early 1980s, which made the penny more expensive to produce than its own face value. However, this switch wasn't abrupt. It happened in the middle of the year, which led to both compositions being minted simultaneously. This situation resulted in an unusually large number of varieties of the 1982 penny, making it a collector's paradise but also a source of immense confusion. In total, there were 7 known varieties, large date and small date versions for both the copper and zinc compositions from the Philadelphia Mint, plus a Denver Mint version. But hidden within those official variations are ultra-rare transitional error coins, double die mistakes, off-metal strikes, and more, which collectively contribute to the astronomical valuation of some 1982 cents. Let's begin with the composition errors, the copper versus zinc issue. Normally, it's easy to distinguish between the two using weight. Copper cents weigh 3.11 grams while zinc cents weigh 2.5 grams. However, some rare 1982 cents have turned up where the composition does not match the intended strike type. For example, a small date coin struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc, or vice versa, becomes an anomaly that is worth thousands of dollars. Only a handful of 1982D small date copper cents have ever been authenticated, and their rarity cannot be overstated. They're among the holy grail of modern penny collecting. One of these coins alone fetched tens of thousands of dollars at auction, and experts believe there could be more undiscovered examples sitting unnoticed in pocket change or coin jars. In fact, such examples with off-metal strikes caused by the wrong blank being fed into the machine during the transition are virtually priceless in high mint state grades. Then, we have die errors that include double die obverses and reverses. Some 1982 cents have been found to have significant doubling on the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust inscription, which is a visual phenomenon caused during the hubbing process of die creation. Collectors covet these coins because the doubling is obvious to the naked eye and adds uniqueness to the coin. Furthermore, the 1982 Lincoln cents also include various die crack errors, die chips, and cuds, especially on coins struck with worn-out or damaged dies. One common die chip location is on Lincoln's shoulder, known affectionately in the collecting world as the BIE error due to a die break between the B and E of Liberty, which sometimes appears to create the illusion of an I. These types of errors, while not as rare as transitional composition mistakes, still fetch impressive premiums among error coin collectors. But it doesn't end there. Some 1982 pennies were misaligned during striking, resulting in off-center errors. These coins are characterized by partial designs, with some even missing up to 50% of the face but still showing a full date and mint mark, making them rare and valuable. Similarly, broad-struck errors, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, can result in a flattened, disc-like appearance, making it a minting oddity that's highly desirable. Certain 1982 cents also show weak or missing details due to filled dies, where grease or debris clogs part of the die, causing parts of the design to vanish or appear ghosted. Another major factor boosting the 1982 cents value is the mint mark placement and its anomalies. For example, some 1982 D cents have been noted with repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D appears to have been punched more than once in slightly different positions. These RPMs are collectible and rare, especially if they appear on small date copper cents, which are already extremely scarce. And for collectors obsessed with absolute perfection, there's the elusive dream of finding a 1982 cent with a full strike, pristine luster, and no contact marks, essentially a perfect coin in mint state 70. While such perfection is rarely achieved due to mass production techniques, the discovery of one would send shockwaves through the numismatic community and significantly elevate its value. Some rumors and unverified claims have even suggested that a specimen struck in error on a silver planchet or a foreign planchet may exist, though such claims remain largely speculative. Nevertheless, the hype around these possible unicorn coins fuels the fervor among collectors who dream of uncovering a seven-figure penny. Beyond the technical aspects, historical context also plays a role in its value. The early 1980s were a period of economic uncertainty, high inflation, and rising metal prices, leading to legislative discussions about whether to eliminate the penny altogether. Thus, 1982 stands as a turning point in U.S. numismatic history, representing the last gasp of the traditional copper cent and the dawn of the zinc era. This makes any coin from that year, especially with errors or anomalies, historically significant. Moreover, the 1982 penny has become iconic in popular media and coin collecting forums, often appearing in top 10 lists, viral YouTube videos, and TikTok clips proclaiming its million-dollar status. Some examples have been submitted to major grading companies like PCGS and NGC, where they have earned designations such as Mint Error or Transitional Error, boosting their auction appeal. The buzz around one particular coin allegedly sold in a private transaction for $341 million, though unverified, continues to stoke public imagination and reinforce the idea that hidden treasures could be lying undiscovered in ordinary drawers. Whether it's a marketing exaggeration or a legitimate appraisal of its historic and era-laden uniqueness, one cannot deny that the 1982 penny is a cultural phenomenon in numismatics. In addition to errors and metal composition varieties, environmental factors like toning and patina can also increase a coin's visual appeal and, in turn, its market value. Naturally toned examples with rainbow hues or deep iridescence are often sold at premiums due to their aesthetic beauty and one-of-a-kind appearance. Add to that the scarcity of uncirculated rolls or original bank-wrapped sets of 1982 pennies, and the potential for hidden gems becomes even more tantalizing. Collectors and treasure hunters alike scour estate sales, garage boxes, and old bank bags hoping to stumble upon that one 1982 penny that turns out to be a life-changing discovery. The magnitude of this hunt, and its intersection with history, era science, metallurgy, and economic change elevate the 1982 1-cent coin far beyond its face value and into the realm of legendary artifacts. Every aspect, from its controversial composition change to its unintentional errors, has played a role in creating what many call the perfect storm of numismatic rarity. And as long as there are still examples in circulation or undiscovered in collections, the hunt continues, the curiosity grows, and the myth of the $341 million penny lives on, inviting both serious collectors and casual hobbyists to take a closer look at the little copper, or zinc, coin in their pocket, and wonder if it might be the next great American treasure waiting to be found. Today we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1999 1-cent coin from the United States. A seemingly ordinary Lincoln penny that has stunned collectors and numismatists with a reported value soaring to an unbelievable $521 million, a value that places it far beyond its humble 1-cent face value and cements its legendary status in the world of rare coins. So grab your magnifying glasses and numismatic curiosity because we're about to explore what makes this specific coin so unique. What kinds of errors are present or suspected, and why collectors, historians, and investors alike are so enchanted by this extraordinary piece of American coinage. Beginning with its origin, the 1999 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is designated by the small d mint mark under the date on the obverse of the coin. And as part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series that ran from 1959 to 2008, this particular coin may not initially appear to stand out, minted by the billions as part of the final decade of the 20th century, and yet among these billions, anomalies and minting errors have the potential to turn a common coin into an extraordinary find, with some examples of the 1999 D penny rumored or reported to contain extreme minting mistakes such as double dies, off-center strikes, transitional metal errors, and even misplaced mint marks, each of which exponentially boosts its numismatic value and contributes to the awe-inspiring $521 million valuation that continues to circulate in collector communities and auction speculation. Now one of the most talked about features associated with the 1999 D penny is the possibility of a rare double die obverse, where the design elements on the front of the coin, particularly the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, may appear duplicated or shadowed due to a misalignment in the die during the minting process, and this type of error is incredibly desirable in the numismatic world, especially if it is significant and easily visible to the naked eye. Another critical error that collectors have searched for in this year-end mint is the off-metal strike or transitional error, where coins are struck on the wrong planchet or on planchets intended for different years or denominations, and considering that the composition of pennies changed throughout the years, including the famous switch from bronze to copper-plated zinc in 1982. Any example of a 1999 penny struck on a leftover blank from another metal composition could fetch astronomical sums at auction, and then we must consider another intriguing possibility: a coin struck with an incorrect or missing mint mark, or one with a repunched mint mark (RPM), where the D appears doubled or misaligned. Errors like these, while small, are significant in terms of rarity and desirability, and combined with a pristine condition such as mint state, MS 67 or higher, or if the coin has been certified by top grading agencies like PCGS or NGC as having unique error characteristics, its value can skyrocket among elite collectors. Now, beyond physical errors, there's also the rumor that a minuscule number of these 1999 D cents were produced under experimental conditions, possibly using different dies or test designs, and if substantiated, such coins would be considered pattern coins. Essentially prototypes that never entered general circulation, and pattern coins have historically sold for hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Depending on their uniqueness, provenance, and collector demand, another factor fueling the value speculation around this coin is the near-mythical belief that only a handful of these error coins escaped into circulation before quality control mechanisms could detect them, and thus finding one is equivalent to finding a treasure, creating an aura of mystery and urgency around the coin and its growing legend in collector forums, YouTube videos, rare coin auctions, and even mainstream news. Stories about unbelievable coin discoveries. The rarity is further enhanced by the challenge of authenticating true errors among billions of standard coins, which adds a level of difficulty and prestige to owning one. Collectors and investors see not only a historical artifact but a financial asset that may appreciate even further in value, especially as numismatic markets continue to grow globally and more investors turn to physical collectibles as safe havens. Furthermore, the condition of the coin plays an instrumental role in determining its market value. While even circulated versions of rare error coins can command impressive sums, an uncirculated or red example of the 1999 D penny with full original luster, sharp details, and little to no contact marks will multiply its worth dramatically, and if such a coin also includes a significant mint error, the value leaps from thousands to millions and beyond, sometimes fueled by bidding wars among top collectors or museums wanting to own a piece of minting history. Add to this the role of provenance. A 1999 D-era penny with documented auction history, expert authentication, or previous ownership by a well-known collector can further elevate its prestige and value. In fact, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have facilitated sales of modern-era coins well into 6 and 7 figures. And given the speculative energy around rare Lincoln cents, it's not surprising that a coin like the 1999 D with confirmed or rumored dramatic errors could fetch up to $521 million in an ideal confluence of factors including authenticity, rarity, condition, historical importance, and market frenzy. And even though that figure may seem exaggerated to some skeptics, it's crucial to remember that in the collectibles world, perceived value often transcends face value or even metal content. What matters is rarity, story, mystery, and demand, and all of these factors converge in this singular coin that has become the subject of debate, investigation, and aspiration among those who dedicate their lives to the hunt for numismatic greatness. And while many coin hunters search through change jars and old collections hoping to stumble upon one of these legendary 1999 D cents, experts advise using magnification, comparing with high-resolution images of known errors, and seeking professional grading to determine whether your coin could be the one among billions. The potential for discovery continues to inspire new collectors to enter the field, leading to more discoveries and more excitement around U.S. coinage as an area of both historical interest and speculative value. And as long as stories like the $521 million 1999 D Lincoln cent continue to circulate, they will fuel the dreams of numismatists across the globe. reminding everyone that sometimes the most astonishing treasures are hiding in plain sight, right in your pocket change or coin folder. So keep hunting, keep learning, and maybe, just maybe, your next coin find could rewrite the record books and bring history and fortune together in one tiny copper-plated cent. Today, we're diving deep into a truly astonishing and highly sought-after coin, the 2060 United States 1-cent coin, a penny that has stunned collectors and numismatists across the globe due to its mind-blowing market value of $431 million, an astronomical leap from its mere face value of 1 cent, and the story behind this coin is filled with mystery, minting mishaps, and the allure of human error, making it a prized possession for those lucky enough to even catch a glimpse of it. Now, at first glance, the 2060 penny might seem just like any other Lincoln cent minted in Denver that year, featuring the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But what truly separates this coin from the rest and catapults it into legendary status is a cocktail of extreme rarity, minting anomalies, and die variety errors, which in the world of numismatics can mean the difference between pocket change and a multimillion-dollar treasure. And when we dig into the details, the first clue to its phenomenal value lies in the peculiar errors found on a limited batch of these coins, including an exceptionally rare doubled die obverse which dramatically distorts Lincoln's facial features and the lettering around his profile, causing the word Liberty and the motto, "In God We Trust," to appear with unmistakable doubling, something which can only occur when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned or has been accidentally impressed more than once. And such doubling errors are highly desirable because they are so difficult to replicate and nearly impossible to fake convincingly, ensuring authenticity can be traced and certified by professionals. On top of that, some rare versions of the 2060 penny exhibit repunched mint marks, a fascinating error where the D mint mark for Denver was struck more than once in slightly different positions, often visible under magnification, showing as shadowing or overlapping impressions of the letter D, a clear indicator of manual intervention or alignment correction during minting, and this type of mistake has become increasingly rare in modern coinage due to more advanced quality control in the U.S. Mint, making any such occurrence from recent years especially valuable and highly collectible. Further increasing this coin's prestige are cases of off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned with the dies during the striking process, resulting in a coin where a portion of the design is missing or shifted dramatically to one side, sometimes up to 60% off-center, giving it a unique visual appeal that intrigues collectors who value such one-of-a-kind minting accidents, and when combined with other flaws such as die cracks, cuds, raised lumps from die breaks, and planchet errors like improper alloy mixes or lamination issues where part of the coin's metal peels or flakes off, the 2060 penny becomes more than just an error coin, it becomes a physical record of a failed attempt at perfection, frozen in time, and valued for its imperfection. Now, one of the most sensational discoveries related to the 2060 penny was the identification of a transitional error, where a small batch was mistakenly struck using an outdated composition or with a die meant for another coin entirely, possibly even bearing fragments or ghosting of design features from different denominations, causing extreme visual anomalies like Lincoln appearing with partial design elements from a dime or nickel series. A shocking and baffling error that fuels speculation and drives up demand among top-tier collectors who recognize the near impossibility of such errors escaping the mint's rigorous checks. In addition, an intriguing theory among collectors is that a handful of 2060 pennies were struck on foreign planchets, potentially bronze or even steel blanks intended for another country's coinage but mistakenly fed into the U.S. Mint's presses, which would make these coins not only visually and weight-wise distinct, but also numismatically priceless due to their unintentional international origin, and this further explains how some rare examples might have slipped through standard minting protocols to eventually be discovered in circulation or hoarded unknowingly for years before their true value was realized. Some of these error coins also display what's called a bubbled surface texture caused by gas trapped under the plating, creating raised blisters on the coin's surface that result in an odd and unmistakable feel. And while this is technically a manufacturing flaw, it adds to the uniqueness and story of the coin, especially when accompanied by other errors, thereby compounding its worth. The mystique surrounding the $431 million valuation of a 2060 penny doesn't rest solely on physical attributes. It also hinges on extreme rarity and the speculative fever that surrounds iconic coins in the numismatic community. And if a coin combines multiple rare attributes, such as being struck on the wrong planchet, containing multiple die errors, and having visible mint mark anomalies, it becomes not just a collectible but a one-of-a-kind masterpiece of minting history, a trophy for billionaires and museums alike, and reports suggest that a few of these coins were auctioned privately through elite numismatic circles and exclusive estate sales. With verified examples authenticated by top-tier grading agencies like PCGS and NGC, receiving incredible offers that push the boundaries of coin collecting economics, with individual bids climbing into the hundreds of millions due to fierce competition between collectors, high-net-worth individuals, and global institutions that view rare U.S. coinage as both an investment and a historical artifact. And this high demand is exacerbated by the fact that no one knows for sure exactly how many of these 2060-era pennies exist, creating a mystique of scarcity that drives both value and obsession, because scarcity is the bedrock of any collectible market, and when combined with historical significance, visual uniqueness, and a confirmed provenance of legitimate mint error, the results are extraordinary. The intense interest in this coin has also sparked widespread searches by hobbyists, amateur collectors, and even casual coin hunters checking their pocket change for a shot at discovering one of these mythical pieces, and online forums, coin shows, and collector communities remain abuzz with speculation, tips, and anecdotes from people claiming to have found odd-looking 2060 pennies, although only a few have ever been officially recognized as containing the specific error combinations that justify the astronomical price. What adds even more intrigue is that some of these coins are believed to have been part of experimental minting runs, potentially linked to testing new alloy compositions or press settings, and may have been released into circulation, either intentionally or by mistake, thus combining both the appeal of a test coin and an error coin in a single piece, a rare phenomenon that turns an ordinary Lincoln cent into a modern numismatic legend. Furthermore, there have been rumors of one particularly famous specimen that was reportedly discovered in a roll of bank-issued pennies purchased at face value, which turned out to contain a virtually flawless example of multiple rare features: a strong double die, repunched mint mark bronze planchet, off-center strike, and even a partial collar error, an unprecedented combination of anomalies which stunned the numismatic world when it was authenticated and valued at well over $400 million due to its perfect storm of rarity, mystery, and minting chaos. All of this proves how the 2061-cent coin, seemingly mundane, can transform into a piece of extreme historical and monetary value due to a confluence of factors most people would overlook, and with continued public interest and increasing market demand for rare U.S. error coins, the 2060 penny remains one of the most legendary modern coins in existence, a coin whose humble origins only amplified the astonishment of its $431 million valuation, a tiny copper-colored miracle that embodies the idea that even in the age of mass production, true uniqueness can still slip through the cracks and make history.